Grand Theft Auto is one of the largest video game franchises ever, having sold nearly 500 million copies over the last 30 years. In that time, it has transformed from a rough top-down 2D shooter to a universally beloved series. It has been a trailblazer for the video game industry, and now, every single release is a worldwide event, drawing in hundreds of millions of people. So today's video has a simple question: why does everyone love Grand Theft Auto? To answer it, we'll look at the freedom of its open worlds, Rockstar's attention to detail, the evolution of its gameplay and stories, and the cultural excitement surrounding every release. By examining what has kept players returning for nearly 30 years, we can understand not only why GTA has become so successful, but whether the franchise can continue living up to its reputation. To start, each of these games has a beautifully constructed open world, which were cutting edge for the time in which they were released. From GTA 3 onwards, every map has allowed total player freedom. You could do jobs, explore the city, run over NPCs, really anything you wanted. You could break any rule you wanted, and there was nothing to hold you back. This is encapsulated by the fact that the main character doesn't even speak a single word in GTA 3's story. He is only motivated by revenge. This made him a complete blank slate for the player to do what they wanted in the world. Unlike most other games of that time period, GTA 3 didn't have levels in the traditional sense. There was no get to the end of the stage and cut to black and you're in a new world. Instead, there were simply 3 islands you could unlock as the story progressed. This idea of being able to go where you wanted to and do what you want, even if it was unhinged, was groundbreaking. You could drive around as much as you wanted and cause as much chaos as you wanted. There were no limitations on what you could do. If you wanted to shoot the police, you could do that. If you wanted to run over pedestrians, you could do that. As the series progressed on, not only did the story of the games improve, so too did the worlds themselves. For example, Rockstar eventually got rid of the need to unlock different sections of the world by completing missions with GTA 5. In that game, you could just go wherever you wanted from the start. It made these games really easy to become immersed in. It was a breath of fresh air from the many linear games that dominated the space in the early 2000s. The Grand Theft Auto series also serves as a perfect time capsule to the atmosphere of certain places at certain times. This kind of world building in places that feel so familiar but so different at the same time allowed the studio to do commentary on society in a fresh way. Instead of being burdened by real places and events, Rockstar can just create a place that feels like New York, Los Angeles, or Miami and have the story they want. Making a huge world is not hard. Plenty of games have them, but making a world feel alive is something only the very best developers can do. The Liberty City of GTA 4 captures the feeling and atmosphere of New York in the mid-2000s, but in an original Rockstar setting that is different enough to be unique in its own way. TV shows, websites, and billboards all contribute to the same exaggerated version of American culture, and those are just minor flavor in the world. Even minor systems like changing weather, vehicle damage, police reactions, and random encounters make the cities feel like places that continue to exist outside of the player. It also helps that Rockstar basically has no competition in the niche that it cut out for itself with the series. Saints Row and the Mafia games tried to compete for a while, but those fell away for the most part. Another thing that helped the series was the constant improvement from game to game. GTA Vice City was better than GTA 3, and San Andreas was better than those 2 games, and GTA 4 was better than that, and in most ways, GTA 5 was better than all of the previous games. That's not to say every successive game in the franchise was better in every way than the game that came before it, but there were obvious improvements in each game of the series, whether it was the graphics, gunplay, story, driving, flying, or anything else. It wasn't small improvements either. Each game was a leap. This is rarer than you might think. Just look at Assassin's Creed. This built consumer trust unlike basically anything any other game company has. When Rockstar releases a new title, it's going to be the biggest game in the world. For example, the only game Rockstar has released since Grand Theft Auto 5 in 2013, the second best-selling game of all time, was 2018's Red Dead Redemption 2, the third best-selling game of all time. What other studio can do that? When people buy a Rockstar game, they trust that it's going to be of the highest quality. This is a reputation that Rockstar has built up over decades, and one that can be ruined with a single flop. It's a global phenomenon whenever one of these games drops. I mean, just look at the view count on the trailers for GTA 4, 5, and 6. The games appealed to every kind of player, from casual to serious. Even someone who has never played a video game in their life has heard of this series. You can find countless videos from when GTA 5 released to people buying it at midnight and going crazy. Very few games give that response. Instead of buying some random video game, players are part of a worldwide event. It gets everybody hyped, not just the diehard fans. It triggers some kind of FOMO in people who don't want to be left behind in such a once-in-a-console generation event. Rockstar profits massively off of this. I mean, GTA 6 will probably overtake GTA 5 in terms of sales and might even become the best-selling game ever. The wait between games only drums up the hype, especially since it'll be over 13 years between releases. That is not something most developers can afford. Just look at Bethesda right now.
All of this just worked.
Rockstar has also shown their players a lot of respect compared to other game companies. companies. The DLCs they release for Grand Theft Auto are of a high quality, and not just skin packs like the horse armor in Oblivion. They're also relatively light on microtransactions. They only exist with shark cards for GTA Online, and not in the mainline story mode. This is a far cry from companies like Ubisoft that are so obsessed with squeezing every last dollar they can out of their players. Hopefully this trend continues with GTA 6. The amount of care and detail that went into each of these games means that they can be replayed endlessly. Some players might prefer GTA 4's gritty story or San Andreas' large and detailed world. Other players might prefer Vice City's aesthetic or GTA 5's improved vehicle mechanics. There was something that could be appreciated about each game. It's to the point that the Definitive Edition trilogy for the first 3D games sold over 10 million copies. Nostalgia is another huge factor for a lot of players. This series is about to turn 30 years old in 2027, and many players got into that series around that time. There are also a lot of players that have fond memories of booting up Grand Theft Auto 3 or Vice City 25 years ago, and they're willing to look past some aspects that haven't aged as well. The radios of these games had songs that further impacted this nostalgia. Booting up a station and driving around and hearing the absurd things the host is saying is a ton of fun. The stations play hits from the time as well, so it helps with the immersion. For me, I remember logging on to GTA 5 and listening to Los Santos Rock Radio while cruising around aimlessly. I did this more times than I can count, and that's just one of 26 possible radio stations. There are so many different things in these games that can get someone hooked. GTA Online gave players another major reason to remain attached to this series. It transformed Los Santos from a world that players eventually finished exploring into a social space that changed constantly. Players could complete heists with friends, collect cars, purchase properties, build criminal businesses, create custom races, or simply mess around together. Role-playing servers also allowed people to use GTA in ways that Rockstar never originally planned. That's not even mentioning the stories of these games. It started off slow with GTA 3. By the time of the later installments, the stories went from pretty basic and boring to compelling crime thrillers. The most critically acclaimed is GTA 4, but my personal favorite is GTA 5. And that's mostly due to my own nostalgia, as I was young when that game came out, and it's what got me into the series as a whole. Not only are the sandbox aspects of the game amazing, they have a story to back them up as well. It's a perfect storm of circumstances, and Rockstar has somehow managed to keep the flame burning for decades. But can this keep up? The pressure Rockstar is under to make these games cannot be understated. If the newest title is anything less than a masterpiece, the entire reputation they have built comes crumbling down. Every single release from the past 30 years has been an improvement on the one that came before it. Will GTA 6 continue this trend? It's already smashed the expectations for what's possible with a video game, and it hasn't even come out yet. That's all because of the fact that people believe in Rockstar. What we've seen over the past 10 years is a complete crumbling of once beloved developers like Blizzard, Bethesda, or Obsidian. Their once great reputations have fallen away because of a handful of blunders. Is Rockstar doomed to the same? The launch of Grand Theft Auto, the trilogy, the Definitive Edition, showed what can happen when the company releases something that does not meet its usual standards, despite its commercial success. Many players have also criticized Rockstar for abandoning single-player content in favor of GTA Online to cash in on microtransactions. Rockstar may still have one of the strongest reputations in the industry, but there's already cracks beginning to show. That's why GTA 6 matters so much. It's not just another sequel. It's the game that has to justify more than a decade of waiting, an enormous budget, and expectations that no normal game could possibly satisfy. Players are expecting the largest map, the most detailed world, the best story, the most realistic graphics, and more freedom than ever before. Even if Rockstar creates an incredible game, there will probably still be people who are disappointed, simply because they imagine something even greater. Grand Theft Auto 6 will also be a benchmark for the entire industry. Whatever it does will be what other developers do. It could also influence the very price of games, since GTA 6 costs a whopping $80 for the base edition, and $100 for the deluxe edition. No other developer could dream of being in this kind of position. Rockstar cannot just release a good game. It has to prove that the company can still deliver the kind of experience that created its reputation in the first place. Maybe GTA 6 will continue the pattern and become another massive leap forward. Or maybe it'll become the game that finally collapses under the weight of its own expectations. We won't know until it's released. But the fact that millions of people are already waiting to find out proves how powerful this franchise has become. GTA 6's release will be the biggest event in gaming history. What an incredible rise for a franchise that started as a 2D shooter back in 1997.